Hare Krishna.
Few minutes, then we will start.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, uncle.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So we'll start class. Prabhuji is not here today, so I'm trying. So with all of your help, we can do some reading.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So anybody would like to lead the pranam mantra?
I'll start. Om
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं. Everybody can see my screen?
Yes.
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः पंचतत्त्वकं कृष्ण भक्तरूप स्वरूपं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुवे सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय श्रील प्रभुपाद So we are doing, what are we doing? Bhishma Stuti. So I think we covered 4 shlokas so far. So anybody would like to recap what we discussed in the last shlokas? So Bhishma Dev, he is lying on the bed of arrows and Krishna just came and he is offering like everybody, he's surrounded by all the Munis, Pandavas, and so many exalted Vaishnavas are surrounded. And Lord is also there. Lord Krishna is also standing there. And Bhishma Pitama is offering his prayers, Stuti, to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So this is the sequence of this, and in the last 4 shlokas we discussed like um, Bhishma Dev was saying that you are the creator, you are everything, then describing his beauty, like all the different qualities of Krishna. Then in the next shloka, we discovered like we discussed like what Bhishma Dev was saying that Krishna, your Parth form, I am just meditating on your Parth form. Anybody knows what is Parth form? Anybody would like to describe what is Parth form of Krishna? Am I audible?
Krishna is like he's chariot driver of Arjuna. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when he's a chariot driver in the Kurukshetra war, he is the chariot driver of Arjuna.
Arjuna.
So that is the Parthsarthi form of Krishna. So right now, Bhishma Dev, he is meditating on the Parthsarthi form of Krishna. He's saying how Krishna, you have delivered so many soldiers. Like there were like lakhs and lakhs of soldiers. By just having a glance of Krishna, everybody was delivered, right? By having one darshan of Krishna, everybody is delivered. So that was the Krishna's plan to deliver so many people. So Bhishma Dev is saying, so Krishna, you have delivered so many people just by your glance. In the last shloka, by your merciful glance, you have delivered even the opposite party soldiers. So now we are moving on to the shloka number 36. व्यवहितप्रतन्मुखं निरक्षय स्वजनवधाद् विमोक्ष्य दोषबोध्या कुमतिमहारत्मा विदययश् चरणरति परमास्य तस्य मे अस्तु. व्यवहितप्रतना मुखमनिराक्ष स्वजनवदाद् विमोक्षदोषबोध्या कुमतिम् अहरद् आत्मा वेदययश चरणरति परमस्य तस्मै अस्तु. Anybody would like to recite?
व्यवहितपृतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद् विमुखस्य दोषबुद्धया कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्याय विद्यायश चरणति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
व्यवहितपूतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या कुमतिमरदात्मविद्ययायश्च चरणति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
व्यवहितपृतनामुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधद्विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्यया चरणरति परमस्य तस्य मेस्तु. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Uncle. So, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance, upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So let's read purport also. It's not very big, so we can read. So anybody would like to volunteer for the purport?
I can read.
Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji, I can read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Purport. The kings and the commanders were to stand in the front of the fighting soldiers. That was the system of actual fighting. The kings The kings and commanders were not so-called presidents or ministers of defense as they are today. They would not stay home while the poor soldiers or mercenaries were fighting face to face. This may be the regulation of modern democracy, but when actual monarchy was prevailing, the monarchs were not elected without consideration of qualification. As it was evident from the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all the executive heads of both parties like Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, and Duryodhan were not sleeping. All of them were actual participants in the fighting, which was selected to be executed at a place away from the civil residential quarters. This means that the innocent citizens were immune from all effects of fighting between the rival royal parties. The citizens had no business in seeing what was going to happen during such fighting. They were to pay 1/4 of their income to the ruler, whether he be Arjuna or Duryodhan. All the commanders of the parties on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were standing face to face, and Arjuna saw them with great compassion and lamented that he was to kill his kinsman on the battlefield for the sake of the empire. He was not at all afraid of the giant military failings presented by Duryodhana. But as a merciful devotee of the Lord, renunciation of worldly things was natural for him, and thus he decided not to fight for worldly possessions. But this was due to poor fund of knowledge. He poor fund of knowledge, and therefore it is said here that his intelligence became polluted. His intelligence could not be polluted at any time because he was a devotee and constant companion of the Lord. As is clear in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, apparently Arjuna's intelligence became polluted because otherwise there would not have been a deliver the chance to deliver the teachings of Bhagavad Gita for the good of all polluted conditioned souls engaged in material bondage by the conception of the false material body. The Bhagavad Gita was delivered to the conditioned souls of the world to deliver them from the wrong conception of identifying the body with the soul and to reestablish the soul's eternal relation with the Supreme Lord. Atma Vidya, or transcendental knowledge of himself, was primarily spoken by the Lord for the benefit of all concerned in all parts of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Mm.
So very, very beautiful verse. So here, Bhishma Dev is describing few keywords. Like what he is saying, Vevahita Pratana Mukham Nirakshaya. So what does that Vevahita mean? So here in this shloka, Vevahita means as it was described in the purport, like the beautiful arrangement of the armies, like how the armies are aligned. So when Arjun came to the main front line and he saw like the perfect arrangement of all the armies, and in that he saw his swajana, like his own family members, his beloved Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, and all other family members. When he saw them, what he become? He had dosha buddhi. So his mind becomes polluted. So what is the meaning of dosha buddhya here in the explanation? By polluted intelligence. So his mind becomes bewildered and his mati becomes kumati. Okay, so and with that his mati becomes kumati. Okay, because his mind gets polluted and he had a feeling that how can I kill my kinsmen? How can I kill my family members? So Bhishma Pitama is saying he got bewildered by the perfect arrangement of the armies when he saw his own swajana, his buddhi becomes dosha buddhi, his mind becomes polluted, and his mati becomes kumati. At that time, what you did? You delivered him by giving him the transcendental knowledge. So what is the transcendental knowledge? Bhagavad Gita. So at that time, Krishna gave him Bhagavad Gita. Okay, because Arjun was very bewildered at that time. And some people might think that how can we say that Arjun was bewildered? Because he was just showing compassion, which is very natural for any human being, right? Because in his army, like in the opposite party, he was seeing Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, whom he loves so much. So that was very natural for Arjun to have compassion for all these people. That's why he wanted to step back. But here, what what Bhishma Pitama is describing, at that particular moment when Arjun was bewildered, you gave him the Atma Gyan, which is what? Bhagavad Gita. So so Krishna so Bhishma Pitama is saying you give him the knowledge of mind, body, soul. We all know what is Bhagavad Gita, right? Who am I? What is my purpose? What is my relationship with the Lord? So all the Sambandha Gyan and everything Krishna gave him at that particular moment. Okay, so this is what Bhishma Pitama is describing, like how merciful you are. So when Arjun became bewildered, you gave him the Atma Gyan. Svevahita pratana mukham nirakshaya swajanavadhat vimokshaya. So he was reluctant to fight because he had a dosh buddhi at that time. At that time, you gave him the transcendental knowledge, and his kumati becomes sumati. He surrendered on to you, and that time you gave him the right guidance. So I would like to offer my rati, my attraction on the lotus feet of that Lord. So here he's saying, may his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. So this is what Krishna is describing. This is what Bhishma Dev is describing here in this shloka. So one more thing, Bhishma Dev is describing here, that our permanent relationship is with Krishna. And for that permanent relationship, like what is the situation of Arjun? Like he had temporary relationship because he was confused. His all the family men were standing on the opposition party, so he was confused. So here Bhishma Dev is saying कि for our permanent relationship is with Krishna, and if our temporary relations are coming in between the service of Krishna, it is kumati. That's what he is describing here. He had a kumati. His mati becomes kumati because his personal relations come in between the relationship with the Lord. So we should not allow our temporary relations to hamper our permanent relationships. So this is the strong message which he's trying to give here, that we should not try to allow our temporary relationships to rule over on us, to hamper the our permanent relationship which is with the Krishna. Jivera das hoy Krishna jivera jivera swarupa hoy Krishna nitya das. So anything which is related to Krishna makes sense. Whatever we are doing, it's if it is related to Krishna, makes sense. Otherwise, it is Shram Evahi Kevalam. What they say, if you are doing anything in the anything which is favorable to Krishna, that is pleasing to Lord, which is Hari Sam Siddhi Hari Toshanam. Otherwise, it is the waste of your time. Shrama Evahi Kevalam. So here Bhishma Dev is meditating on the lotus feet of that Shri Krishna who gave Arjun the perfect knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So this is what described, and he's saying, he's praying, may the object of my attraction be the lotus feet Charan Rati. So he's saying Charan Rati, may my attraction be on the lotus feet of the Lord who eradicated Arjun's ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge, Atma Vidya, when he was bewildered and refused to fight. Okay, so this is, I tried my best. So, okay, let's move on. Any questions here? If anybody would like to share something here.
So let's move on to the next one.
मत प्रतिज्ञां रहमाधिकृतुम् अवपुलोत रथस्था धृतरथचरणो भयाद् चलद्गुर् हरिरेव हन्तुम् इभं गतोत्र्य स्वनिगमापय मतप्रतिज्ञां रतमधिकृतुम् अवप्लुतो रथास्था धृतरथचरणो भयाच्च चलद्गुर् हरिरेव हन्तुम् इभं गतोत्र्य. Anybody would like to recite?
Hare Krishna. Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Fulfilling my vow and sacrificing his own promise, he got down the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly. Just as a lion goes to kill an elephant, he even dropped his outer garment on the way. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Anybody would like to read the purport?
I can.
Thank you, Kalia. You can start.
The Battle of Kurukshetra was fought on military principles, but at the same time, in a sporting spirit, like a friend's fight with another friend. Duryodhana criticized Bhishma Deva, alleging that he was reluctant to kill Arjuna because of paternal affection. A Kshatriya cannot tolerate insults on the principle of fighting. Bhishma Deva therefore promised that the next day he would kill all 5 Pandavas with special weapons made for the purpose. Duryodhana was satisfied and he kept the arrows with him to be delivered the next day during the fight. By tricks, Arjuna took the arrows from Duryodhana, and Bhishma Deva could understand that this was the trick of Lord Krishna. So he took the vow that the next day Krishna would have to take up weapons himself, otherwise his friend Arjuna would die. In the next day's fighting, Bhishma Deva fought so violently that both Arjuna and Krishna were in trouble. Arjuna was almost defeated. The situation was so tense that he was about to be killed by Bhishma Deva the very next moment. At that time, Lord Krishna wanted to please his devotee Bhishma by keeping Bhishma's promise, which was more important than his own. Seemingly, he broke his own promise. He promised before the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra that he would remain without weapons and would not use his strength for either of the parties. But to protect Arjuna, he got down from the chariot, took up the wheel of the chariot, and hurriedly rushed at Bhishma Deva in an angry mood as a lion goes to kill the elephant. He dropped his covering cloth on the way, and out of great anger, he did not know that he did drop it. Bhishma Deva at once gave up his weapons and stood to be killed by Krishna, his beloved Lord. The fighting of the day was thus ended at that very moment, and Arjuna was saved. Of course, there was no possibility of Arjuna's death because the Lord himself was on the chariot. But because Bhishma Deva wanted to see Lord Krishna take up some weapons to save his friend, the Lord created this situation, making Arjuna's death imminent. He stood before Bhishma Deva to show him that his promise was fulfilled and that he had taken up the wheel. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, such a beautiful description. Actually, Prabhupada did explain very, very well. So, but we will discuss few points here. So here in this text, the shloka, what's going on? So here Krishna is keeping the promise, right? So he's keeping the promise of his devotee by breaking his promise, right? So anybody would like to say what happened in this one? So as uncle was reading, so it was described here. So when the fight was going on, so uh, Duryodhana was blaming Bhishma Dev, like Bhishma Pitama, like you are cheater, like you are cheater. You don't want to, you love Arjuna and all the Pandavas. That's why you are not killing them, right? So he was blaming on him. So Bhishma Dev got angry and he said that tomorrow I'm gonna kill all the 5 Pandavas. But Krishna, being a being a secret agent, he knows everything what's going on there. So what he did by trick, he took those arrows which Bhishma Dev gave it to Duryodhan. He secretly took those arrows and hide them. So Bhishma Dev knew that what's gonna happen next. So Bhishma Dev know that Krishna is trying to save the Pandavas. So he said that tomorrow you have to see, either you have to lift your weapon. You took a vow that you're not going to lift the weapons, but tomorrow you see, you have to lift the weapon to protect your Arjuna, to your dear friend Arjuna. So in this case, what Bhishma Dev is explaining, Swanigamapaya mata pratikyam. So what he's saying, you swanigam is what? Apni pratigya, just to keep your vow, just to mat pratigya. So he's saying you broke your vow to keep my vow. Swanigamapaya mata pratigyam. So he's saying just to keep my vow, you broke your vow. So Krishna's vow, what was Krishna's vow? That he will not lift any weapon in the war. But just to save Arjuna, he has to break his vow. He lifted what he lifted in the battlefield. Hope everybody's here. Did Krishna shoot the arrow on Bhishma Dev?
And he just like took the wheel.
Yeah, he took
Mm,
the chariot wheel, right?
yeah.
So he took the chariot wheel and he ran towards Bhishma Dev. Then second point is like Bhishma Dev broke his vow to keep the vow of his dearmost devotee, Bhishma Dev. Okay, so Lord always keeps his devotees above him. So in this shloka, it is very clear. So Lord prioritized the vow of Bhishma Dev above his vow. He wants to spread, because why? Because he wants to spread the name and fame of his pure devotees. And what devotees wants? And devotees wants to spread the name and fame of their beloved Lord. So this is such a beautiful shloka of beautiful exchange between Lord and his devotee. Then let's move on to the next line. Ratamadhikratum avulpluto rathasta. So what Krishna did? So Bhishma Pitama is saying Lord came down because Bhishma Pitama was standing on the rath. And just to respect the devotee, Lord came down one step. Because he came down from the rath. So Lord doesn't care like the status. Like if Bhishma Pitama is standing on the top floor and Lord is on the bottom floor, because he got down from the ratha. So here again, Bhishma Pitama is saying that you don't care about the position. If your devotee is upper than you, you don't care about that. You just protect them. Lord came down from the rath. Bhishma Pitama is saying, I was on the rath and Lord came down. He took the position lower than me just to keep my vow. Lord likes to be in the charan. Lord likes to be in the charan of Bhakta, and Bhakt likes to be in the charan of the Lord, right? Have you seen the beautiful picture where I think Dwarkadish is holding the feet of one of the devotee? So Lord likes to, like all the name and fame, Krishna likes to give it to his dear devotees. Okay, this shows the love of the Lord and his beautiful exchange of love between Lord and his devotees. This second line. Now let's move on to the third line. Dritaratha charano abhaksha chaladgur. So here, harir eva. So here it is describing dhrata ratho charano. So what is taking up the ratha? wheel, chariot wheel, taking up chariot wheel. He was running so madly. Like here it is described like the lion when lion run after the elephant. Like the same way, that ferociously, like Krishna was running towards Bhishma Dev. So here again, like one more example, they say that like the lover, when the two lovers see each other, they try to run towards each other. Similarly here, what's going on? Krishna is running towards Bhishma Pitama. Then next, Nani, Hantum Ibam Gatotraya. And in all these exchanges, his upper cloth, his Angavastra, is like flowing. So Krishna doesn't care his upper, like Angavastra is flowing. So here also, uh, here they say that when Krishna is serving his devotee, he becomes so focused that he forget about what he's wearing, what's going on, because his Angavastra is flowing all in the air. How he was focused on Bhishma Pitama that he didn't even notice that he dropped his Angavastra. In this situation, Krishna only focuses on the Bhishma Pitama, and he left Arjun as well because he was the Sarthi of Arjuna, like he was the chariot driver of Arjuna, but he left Arjun also there just to protect another devotee, Bhishma Pitama. This shows the how Krishna is like beautiful, does the beautiful exchange. Bhishma Pitama is saying, what a good fortune I have. Krishna's whole attention is on me, not with the anger, but with the love. So in the picture, when you see that Krishna is becoming red, and because Bhishma Pitama shoots some arrows on him, some blood is oozing out and all those things. But that is all external. But internally, Krishna is running towards Bhishma Pitama out of love. This shows the love of Krishna towards Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama, why it is like that? Because Bhishma Pitama is also totally surrendered on Krishna. Krishna is showing so much love, and Bhishma Pitama is meditating on this scene again and again. So Bhishma Pitama is crying and he is meditating on this scene. How Krishna left everything. He took up the wheel and he ran towards me just to save my vow. Isn't it so beautiful? Let's read it one more time. Swanigamapaya mata pratigyam ratamadikratam avapalato rathastha dritaratha charano abhayak chaladgur harir eva hantum ibam gatotriyam. Okay, so I think we will cover two only, we'll not move on to the next. Any questions? Anybody would like to say anything? Hare Krishna. Would you like to say something? Any beautiful, any example of exchange between Lord and his devotee? Anybody would like to share any example where Lord and devotees are having a beautiful exchange? Am I audible?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. So any example, like there are so many examples from Srimad Bhagavatam. Anybody can share any example?
Krishna and Sudama scene when it happened.
Yeah, Krishna and Sudama. When Sudama came, when Krishna heard the name of Sudama, he ran, right?
Yeah.
He was, I think, eating, he was having prasadam. He left everything and he just ran to grab Sudama, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Anuradha. Anybody else? So many beautiful examples. Madhu Didi, any example? Narsingadev.
Yeah. I was also thinking about Sudama.
Okay, and Narsingadev and this Prahlad Maharaj, right?
Yes.
Prahlad,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dhruv Maharaj.
Dhruv
Dhruv,
Maharaj. Yeah.
yeah, Dhruv Maharaj, yeah, he was meditating, so Krishna, Narad Muni came. So Krishna sent somebody to deliver him. And Prahlad Maharaj, right? He was going through all the atrocities, and then finally, just to prove Krishna, just to prove his devotee's word, Krishna came out from Narsingadev came out from the pillar, right? Because he was saying Krishna is everywhere, Krishna is everywhere, and his father was like, "Oh, does your Krishna is here?" Then he said, "Yeah, my Krishna is everywhere." And just to prove his devotee's word, Krishna came out from the pillar. This is how Krishna fulfilled the devotees, pure devotees' vows.
Hare Krishna. Just another example I was wanted to share is like Draupadi when she was like
Yeah,
in a sabha and she was meditating on Krishna's help.
yeah.
And
So yeah, so in Draupadi's
Vasudha.
Chiran Leela, yeah. So in that case, when she was shouting Krishna, 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 Krishna was not
Mhm.
coming. When she left all both his hands and
It's
raised his
complete
hands, raised
surrender,
her
like yeah.
hands, then Krishna came, right? Krishna came running.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
this
another
is how,
example.
yeah. So Krishna likes to help his devotees all the time, and in the shloka it is described that he likes to give name and fame to his devotees. So I think last week I was listening one katha. So there was one story of Ajab Kumari. So Jaipur ka Raja. So as we know that Govind Dev Ji and Madan Mohan Ji used to live in Jaipur after all these Mughals and everything. So Govind Dev Ji and Madan Mohan Ji, they moved to Jaipur. So that Jaipur's king's daughter Ajab Kumari. So Ajab Kumari, she was about to get married. So Raja King asked Ajab Kumari, Beti, I love you so much. What would you like to have? Like, I want to give you some special gift. What you want? So she said, Pitaji, you have Govind Dev Ji with you. Can I please take Madan Mohan Ji? So Raja was like shocked. He's like, how can I give you my Ishtadev? Like I serve them. I cannot give you. You can ask anything, anything, anything. I will give it to you, but I cannot give you Madan Mohan Ji. They are my Ishtadev, and how can I live without them? And then Ajab Kumari said, but Pitaji, you have Govind Dev Ji. You can serve them. I don't have anybody. I cannot live without Madan Mohan Ji. So please let me take Madan Mohan Ji. So Raja said, no, but Betty, I cannot live without him. So she said no. Then she stopped eating and everything. So Raja said, okay, I give you one small thing. Okay, so what we're gonna do? I'll make three four vigrah of Madan Mohanji, and you have to identify which one is your Madan Mohanji. So she said, okay, because she really wanted to take Madan Mohanji with her. So she said, okay, Pitaji, whatever you say. So she promised to Raja, but she was very confused. Like, what happened if I will not be able to identify my Madan Mohanji? And if all the Madan Mohanjis are gonna same, like he said, I'm gonna put 5 pairs of deities, and you have to choose which one is our Madan Mohanji. Then you can take them. So she was like very confused. She couldn't sleep. Then finally, like after 10, 12 days, all the deities were ready. So, Raja said to Ajab Kumari, okay, so tomorrow morning, you take bath and you came in the sabha, and there will be five pair of deities, and you have to select which one is our Madan Mohan. So she was so confused and she couldn't sleep whole night. Like she couldn't sleep for last 3 4 nights, but that night she was like continuously begging Madan Mohanji, how am I gonna identify you? I don't want to live without you. I cannot live without you. So I don't want to leave you here. So Madan Mohanji came in the dream, and Madan Mohanji said, okay, don't worry, I'll be with you. So when you come near to me, you will see my finger moving. I will do some ishara and you will see my finger is moving, and um then you can touch those deities, and I'm that one. So she got it, but she was confused ki if it was just a dream. Madan Mohanji didn't come into my dream, so she was very, very disturbed, and she went into the sabha in the morning. So everybody was sitting there, and there were like five set of deities. So she went, like she was going near to everybody, and Raja was seeing everything what's going on. So as soon as she came closer to Madan Mohanji, so Raja also saw that Madan Mohanji moved his finger a little bit. So she identified, this is my Madan Mohanji. And then Raja came, and he said, Beti, you doesn't want to take Madan Mohanji. Madan Mohanji wants to go with you. So this story I'm saying because we should do something that not we want to be with Krishna. Krishna wants to be with us. We should do some kind of service or that kind of bhakti. Our bhakti should be like that Krishna wants to be with us. In this story, like Ajab Kumari, Ajab Kumari loves, like we all love our Gopalji and like whoever we are serving. But in this case, Madan Mohanji wants to go with Ajab Kumari. So this is such a beautiful exchange of love between the Lord and his devotees. So Raja said, the king said, Madan Mohanji cannot live without you, so you can take. So Raja did the marriage very opulently, and in one doli she went, and one rath Madan Mohanji went. That's why Madan Mohanji is in Karoli. Right? That's the sasural of Ajab Kumari. So that's why Madan Mohanji went there in Karoli. So this is such a beautiful pastime of exchange between Lord and his devotees. Any other story anybody would like to share? Any beautiful story of Prabhupada? Prabhupada has very beautiful exchanges with the Lord so many times. Rachnanita, you would like to share? We read in the Lilamrit.
I was just thinking about Mirabai also, right? Mirabai's
Yeah, Mirabai, example of Mirabai.
yeah, her bhakti and how even she drank the poison.
Yeah, she drank the poison. Yeah. And what not only the poison, the like everything
She has to
she
yeah,
drank.
she has to gone through so
Yeah.
many challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they locked her in the mahal, like Bhutia Mahal or something.
Mm-hmm.
All the different kind of challenges she has gone. But her faith her faith was so
Unshaken, yeah.
strong. Yeah. So she was so surrendered that she had full confidence that Lord will come and save me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and anybody would like to share the example of Prabhupada?
One of the thing I was just relate to this Prabhupada's like life and the little bit challenges when he was trying to set up his business and consistently he was getting the failure throughout his businesses, no success at all. So that's one of the thing I was like thinking like it's like
Yeah, because that was Krishna's bigger plan, right? If he was successful, then he will never come out, right?
Mhm.
That was Krishna's plan. Sometimes, yeah, भक्तों की life में वो ऐसे challenges देते हैं because we cannot foresee, but Krishna can foresee, right? So sometimes he puts such challenges, like you say, oh, why? And we sometimes we also say that why it is happening in the भक्तों की life में
Mhm.
ऐसा क्यों challenges आते हैं? But Krishna has some future plans. Krishna can foresee. We cannot foresee certain things. Yeah, प्रभुपाद जी की लाइफ में और जब प्रभुपाद ने वो प्रेयर्स करी कृष्णा तबे हबे होए when he was traveling into the Jaladut, like he had
Mhm.
two massive heart attacks, right? Like if he was not surrendered on to Krishna, he would have gone back right from there because the captain said, and Sumati Murarji also said, Prabhu, you are too old, and there it is too cold. But he never gave up, right? He never gave up. So, and then Krishna reciprocates. If we really surrender, then Krishna reciprocates with us. Okay, so I think any other points anybody else would like to say? Rachna, you want to say something? I see you are unmute.
No, no, I'm just listening. I
Oh.
was thinking about the same thing about Jalduta. That was like he had 2 heart attack and still he came here and did so much. I was thinking about same thing.
Yeah, not only Jaladuta, actually, in the second volume, there were so many places like his all the stuff was stolen, his typewriter was stolen. He had no place to live in New York, right? In New York,
Yeah.
and he was 70 years old, like what not he has seen, but still he was so surrendered. Like he had nobody he knew, but his faith never like sometimes he thought about it, but then next day he said, "No, I'm staying. I'll stay here." Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna, Rakhe Kaun, right? Guru Maharaj say this so many times, Gujarati thing. Okay, so I think we can end here. Nina Didi, you want to say something? Nina Didi is there. I think.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, you want to say something, Nina Didi?
जैसे बिलनी जी के है ना, उनकी भी बिलनी रामचंद्र, वो भी वेट करती थी ना भगवान के लिए।
ओह, अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ।
उनका भी है ना।
उन्होंने तो कितना 1000 years वेट किया।
लॉन्ग टाइम है।
1000 years वेट किया था उन्होंने राम जी का।
रामचंद्र जी के
हाँ,
लिए।
राम जी का 1000 years, और एवरी डे बेचारी फ्लावर लगाती थी। हम तो 2 दिन में 4 दिन में हो जाएंगे कि
हो
क्या।
जाएंगे।
हाँ, कुछ नहीं हो रहा।
हमें भक्ति चाहिए ना, हमारे में है नहीं।
भक्ति चाहिए। बस हम सब प्रे करते हैं कि ठाकुर जी हमें भक्ति दे, और क्या। एक साथ पढ़ के सुन के ऐसे ही तो भक्ति आएगी ना हम सब लोगों के लिए, लेकिन सब लोगों में आएगी भक्ति।
वो तो है।
ठाकुर जी से प्रे करते हैं,
प्रे
देंगे।
प्रे करेंगे, हम तो बस प्रे कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, तो प्रभुपाद जी ने दीदी बुक्स बनाई है ना, उनको उनको पढ़ने से ही हो जाएगा ना दीदी। जब भक्तों का चरित्र पढ़ेंगे तभी तो भाव आएंगे।
हाँ।
इसलिए इसलिए तो प्रभुपाद जी ने बनाई है, हमारे लिए बुक्स लिखी है ना। प्रभुपाद ने बोला कि मैं सब छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ ना, और सच में ऐसा पढ़ते नहीं है, लेकिन आज प्रभु जी नहीं थे तो मैंने लेके बैठी पढ़ा, तो फिर लगा कि सच में बहुत कुछ है।
ये जैसे शकुबाई जी का है चरित्र।
हाँ, चक्कूबाई जी का, राइट राइट। बहुत बहुत सारे भक्तों के चरित्र हैं कि ठाकुर जी खुद प्रकट हुए हैं। सक्कूबाई जी के केस में भी ठाकुर जी पिटाई खाते हैं,
ट्राई
राइट।
करते हैं,
पिटाई
हाँ।
खाते हैं, बंद जाते हैं, पिटाई खाते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं ठाकुर जी
उनके लिए
उनके लिए। अ, वो एक भक्त के लिए वो सब मतलब क्या क्या करते हैं भक्तों के लिए, क्या नहीं करते भक्तों की। ठाकुर जी सो मर्सीफुल। बस हम ही थोड़े क्या बोलते हैं ना, कंजूस है। हम ही कंजूस हैं, ठाकुर जी कंजूस नहीं है। हम ही कंजूसी करते हैं, आज नहीं, कल नहीं, कल करेंगे, परसों से करेंगे। तो बहुत कुछ है, ठाकुर जी ने बहुत कुछ दिया है। प्रभुपाद जी ने इतनी सुंदर सुंदर बुक्स दी हैं। अगर हम उनसे ही पढ़ें तो हमें इतना शायद से हमारा भी प्यार हो जाएगा उनसे। ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। अंकल, यू वांट टू से समथिंग?
No, I'm listening. Thank you.
Okay, uncle. Okay, so I think we can end here. So from next week we will continue from 38 shloka, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhasya, Kripa Sindhubhaivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Hare Krishna.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण।
Krishna.
Hare
Very nice
Krishna.
class, Tripti.
Good
Hare
class.
Hare
Yeah, I
Krishna.
like it.
Jai
Thank
Srila
you, Tripti.
Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा।
Jai Shri.
हरे कृष्णा।
Krishna Prabhuji.